Ultimately, it's passive income. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions is active income versus passive income. So if you're going to go flip a property, now, when you're really experienced and you hire all your teams and you've essentially created a flipping business, you can be passive as a flipper. But in the beginning, most of us aren't going to start out like that way. You're going to be swinging the hammers. You're going to manage the contractors. You got to find the deals. You got to do all of that. That is not passive income. Passive income is when you get to sleep in and keep making money. Rental properties can be a misconception because it's like, well, rental properties are considered passive income even per the IRS, but depending on how you do it, it may not be passive at all. You may be rehabbing your rental property and landlording it and slumlording and the whole thing, and that's not passive. But like turnkey rental properties where all the big stuff is done for you, it does not mean you can close your eyes and never check in or manage the people, but it is a more hands-off version. Or you have things like crowdfunding, syndications, REITs, all of that. You know, if you basically buy stock in real estate, you don't really have to do anything for that. There's downsides to that, but there's an upside. You don't have to do anything about that. So the alternative is finding, and this is what is never taught. Wholesaling is like everyone should wholesale. That is literally the most active thing you could possibly do in real estate. So it's like, all of that can be great and fine, but if you have a full-time job and a family of 5 or 10, you may not be wanting to take on a second job. And so many people get into investing thinking they're getting into investing, but you've now taken on a second job, which, again, can work phenomenal. It's being that entrepreneur and whatever, but if you're not looking to be an entrepreneur, you've got to look at those more passive options.
You know, it is kind of like almost a misnomer where they say passive investing, and the first thing that you got to understand, in order for it to work for you, it's got to be passive recurring investing.
You can check out for some amount of time to start, but if you don't ever check in, you know. Hello.
If you're not a passive investor and you're actually syndicating the deal or you're running a multifamily property, so many people think, oh, it's just mailbox money. Oh, I'm just going to put my feet up on the ottoman. If you take your eye off that prize for 90 days, you'll have nothing to go back to. Nothing. They'll run you roughshod.
And the good news about that is 90 days is a lot of time off.
Like, it is. I know. About it, like, I like the 30.
If you can take a month off of work, how freaking amazing is that? So like literally my rental properties, they're to the point where I can take a year or so off, but that doesn't mean I'm not occasionally checking in. But that's passive. Like if you can take 30 days off and income still show up in your bank account, right on. You're probably looking at something pretty passive. That does not mean you can go much past 30 days without, some kind of oversight.